Hello, I'm author Denise Turney, and I'm the author of the books Love, Pour Over Me, Love Has Many Faces, Long Walk Up and Spiral, amongst other books. You are watching the Chisel.com YouTube channel, and thank you for being here with us. So today's show is about making the decision and giving you some tips or guidance, some things to think about. If you're thinking, should I freelance write at all? Should I do it part-time or should I do it full-time? And I will tell you some of the recent stats that I saw, and when I say recent, they're not as of it within the last month, that the freelance writing consultant or the freelance consulting independent contractor population was supposed to grow. People want to have control of their work life, their professional life. They want to be able to do things, work where they want to work, and the hours they want to work. They don't want to be told that they have to be in the work at 7 or 8 or 9 o'clock, even if nothing doesn't start happening until 11 on some days, or maybe some days they wouldn't start at 6, or they might not start at 2 and they don't end till 11. They don't want to have to be at some set place every single day at a set time because life is not that programmed. So becoming a freelance writer can give you that freedom. But is it right for you? Is it right for you? So here's some things to consider, and only you can decide. If you are really accustomed to a regular income, when you either freelance, again, and these terms to me are a lot of ways interchangeable: consulting, independent contractor. Your income, unless you're working for another company, but you're not on their payroll as an employee, meaning you don't get your health benefits through them. You don't get your short-term disability, your medical, your dental, etc. through them. They may have a place for you to sit on site, but you're not an employee. You're not considered an employee by them. That's more like an independent contractor or consultant. A freelancer. So then, under those situations, you would get generally a regular paycheck. So it's coming, it's coming. A lot of companies, though, to keep from confusing that line between independent contractor and employee, you will only work for them maybe a year and a half, and some maybe up to 2 years. They want to cut it off so there's no confusion that you're being treated like an employee but not being rewarded like one. So that's number one. If you're used to a regular salary, maybe being an independent contractor or consultant for a large company is the way to go for you, or another size company who hires those types of workers. But you're not going to get no benefits generally. Those you have to pay for on your own. If you want to be a freelancer, this is really something to consider. That stable income is generally not there. Your income's going up, it's going down, and you have to do what CEOs and heads of businesses do. You're going to have to go out there and get those jobs so that you can have an income at all. So if you don't have a lot of appetite for that, maybe freelancing isn't the way to go. Part-time freelancing. If you have a part-time or full-time job where you have regular income coming in that can cover things like your rent or mortgage, maybe your car note, and your car or homeowners or renters insurance. But perhaps this part-time job doesn't pay your groceries, it doesn't pay your gas or electric bill or your cable bill. You could freelance part-time and cover that and have money to grow in the bank as well. You could. If you want your health benefits, there are a lot of things to look at before you decide to go freelance. A lot of times people just jump. They just assume they may have heard a motivational speech, saw some on YouTube where they're inspired, and they just take that leap without knowing that how long is it going to take you to ramp up your income? And even as a freelancer, it still goes up and down and up and down and up and down. You can have a big client. And I've been there. You can have a big client that you work with maybe 5 years, and then they go on a different path, and now you don't have that client anymore. So a tip: if you do part-time or full-time, go freelance writing. have about 12 clients. Always have at least, work your way up to 12 clients, including maybe 3 to 4 really big clients and then other clients. Make sure you're not putting so much effort into a client that they're no longer worth it. They keep asking you for re-edits. They're not clear about the directions, and so you have to do the same thing 5 times. Maybe that client is just not worth it. And then also map out how much are you getting paid versus how long does it take you to complete a project. So maybe you make $5,000, but if it takes you 3 months to finish that project, maybe it's not as much as you thought it was. So those are things to consider about whether you want to freelance. If you really are serious about having a regular, steady income where you know every 2 weeks you're going to see $2,000, $2,000, $2,000, or $10,000 every 2 weeks, whatever it is you want in a regular income. Freelancing, I would say, may not be the way to go because that's going to be a big adjustment for you. So maybe you go into it part-time. You work your way up and go into it part-time. If you want to do it full-time, if you're married, maybe your spouse has a regular income coming in. When your freelance writing drops off, you still have your spouse's income there. But let's look at also some benefits of freelancing. If you have young children, you can be home with them depending on what their ages are. If not, you might still have to get care for your children so you can focus on what you're writing on. You're going to have to let your family know that you're writing, so you and friends, so you don't get constant interruptions or requests. Can you pick something up from the cleaners? Can you go to the grocery store? Can you? No, I'm working just like everybody else. I'm just working from home right now. But I would say the number one thing is how much do you need that stable income? Can you go out and get business? Can you go out and get clients? Can you start sourcing journalism jobs, media bistro, freelance writing jobs, knowing where to look on Indeed? Craigslist is also another place where you can get freelance writing jobs. Joining groups and finding out, knowing where to go on Twitter to find these jobs, knowing where to go on Facebook to find these jobs, where to go on LinkedIn and find the freelance writing jobs, keeping your energy up so that you will always keep wanting these new great clients. Going to different events and passing out business cards, introducing yourself to people, letting them know the types of works you do, whether it's press releases, website. Do you do branding? Do you focus on marketing? Are you really good at SEO or SEM? Are you good with analytics, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera? Getting the word out so you keep building your clientele. Then being a freelance writer, you may say it's the greatest thing I ever did, but you're not going to have a steady income. But you could have a very rich income if you work it the right way. Maybe you seek out a mentor, work with somebody who's already reached their way to making $250,000 a year or $100K a year freelance writing. Those are the kind of people you want to model yourself after. You want to build a website. You just got to keep marketing your services so people come to you when they need writing done. And I'm telling you, there is no shortage of work out here for a freelance writer. You just have to take a personal look at yourself. And are you ready? And my advice would be to make that slow ramp up. Do it part-time, slow ramp up, slow ramp up. Make sure you always have 6 months of post-tax income. Pre-tax income put aside. 6 months for those down times in your freelance writing. You know how to go out and get clients because it's going to go up and down. If that fits you and you have an appetite for that, you may say this is the greatest thing I've done. And if you're also a book writer, you can use your freelance writing through your bylines, etc., to promote the books that you write. And then that's a win-win. This is author Denise Turney, author of the books Love Pour Over Me, Portia Spiral, Long Walk Up, etc., other books. I encourage you to subscribe right now to our Chisto.com YouTube channel, where we'll continue to share free tips and advice with you. See you back here next week. Bye for now.